What's up, basement dwellers? We're back. The Jersey Phanatics, after a couple weeks of depression, a couple weeks of Pokemon, and this guy going off on these wild vacations. Chris the Dace Man, Dace is back, joined as always with Eric Barezzo.
Fuck the Dodgers.
So, like I said, we had a little bit of depression. Unfortunately, an early exit again. The last time we talked, we were down 2 games heading to LA. I'm not even going to try to pretend like we were optimistic on that episode. But, you know, they came into that Wednesday game, fired up, blew their load, and then basically fucked up the next night. So
it blew their load, for sure.
The bats went cold again. Let's talk a little bit about the NLDS. We owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to our one fan.
Listen, I know we're going to get into more off-season stuff immediately after, but you said the bats went cold. The bats went cold yet again, and somehow, the day after the season ends, or a couple days later, whatever it was, the after season press conference, they basically announced that Kevin Long got a contract extension. And everyone was trying to figure out, one, how, and B, or two, how long. And apparently it got a 3-year contract extension. There hasn't been one player that has gotten hot in October that stayed hot in October.
Fair. The thing I don't understand is, and like you said, we'll talk more about this in the free agency, with Kevin Long, he was the veterans guy, right? Like the Schwarbers, the Harpers, the guys that have been around him a while. Turner liked him.
Yeah, it's probably because he doesn't tell him to do anything. He'd be like, here, you should watch this screen. In this screen, you're going to see a forkball by Suzuki, and you're going to swing and miss.
Yeah, just take an X swing. Just
do that again. Well, coach, how do I hit it? You just don't. You just go up there and you swing at balls that are out of the zone. That's your job in this series, and you're going to do great at it. And that's exactly what happened.
So I don't want to put the entire blame on the Phillies, even though it's very easy to, because the bats did go cold, and they went 5-6 against. No, they went 4-6 against them in the regular season. And historically, they've beat up people that, like Glasnow, they've beat up Snell. Like, they've had games where they've fucking piled on these starters. The frustrating thing is they quieted Ohtani, who fucking went on a run the next couple series.
It was outrageous how little he did against us, and then it was like
the top 3 did little. Mookie didn't do much against us. Freeman did okay against us. It's mind-boggling. Like, I don't. This is why we took some time off, so we could process the loss. But I still can't process the damn loss, because I do think, had we gotten past them, we would have been World Series champions. The Brewers folded super quick. I don't know how the hell they got it into the playoffs based on the way they played in the playoffs. Though I'm sure they could say the same thing about us.
Their coach just got the NL Manager of the Year for the 2nd consecutive year.
Do they consider postseason when they talk about that?
No.
Okay, that makes sense, because Rob being in the top 3 makes sense, because the Rob fucking playbook for the playoffs isn't working.
I mean, he should have got it that year, 2022, when he took them to the World Series. Yeah. But even before that, he was an amazing manager in that regular season.
Mm.
But I forget who won it that year, but everyone thought that it should have been Toppers
because of Davey Roberts.
Yes, it went to somebody else who, with Topper coming in and being able to get them to the playoffs in general after firing a coach a month or 2 months into the season was outrageous.
But the whole post-mortem on this NLDS, the top stories are bats went cold. Pitching outside of Orion Kirkring was phenomenal, and even Orion's pitching wasn't bad. He's gonna forever be fucking remembered for that final play, which at the same time, I like JT, and I understand JT was coaching him to go to first. Why fuck weren't you prepared in the instance that he would come home? Like, you're walking off the base, walking towards him, pointing at first. It's still an active play. I'm not saying Kirkering made the right call, but like, it didn't help that you weren't prepared to somehow get that because the fucking Dodger didn't hit the plate. He had to go back to the plate.
Yeah.
So like, it could have been an out. Again, Kirkering made the wrong call. I don't know if anyone would have been able to, like, at that age, at what's this, his second postseason?
Yeah.
Like, it was a high stakes game, and like, we shouldn't have gotten to the fucking 14th or 13th inning to begin with. But it sucks. The team has had nothing but high expectations after the lowest expectations they had. They went the furthest, and every year after that, they've just been doomed by that first year success of the 2022 Phillies.
Well, they only in that game, so it went 11 innings, but they only had 4 hits.
Yeah,
and they gave up 7 hits.
Which part of this postseason postmortem we're doing is also going to roll into our free agency conversation, because the people who were productive are not predicted to be on this team next year. And it's frustrating that the people we're chasing after were not productive in the postseason. I get what they did in the regular season. We'll talk our piece to each free agent, but it's we have said. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, like, even the game that we won 8-2, we had 9 left on base.
Yeah, I mean, and that's been their MO all playoff appearances, even in the year that was good.
Let's give them a contract extension.
Yeah, but I mean, that's been the MO for every season. We're pissing and moaning about the RASP. Like, the runners in scoring position has been awful. Like, this team isn't a team. Like, it's a gathering of good players who get hot, and they don't. We always complain about it. They never get hot at the same time, and that's rough.
There's like 30 runners left on base for us the whole entire series. Like, that's insane.
But like, we're not going to keep kicking a dead horse. We lost. We're back here talking, so we haven't completely walked away from this team. But we are entering a
3-1.
We lost 3-1.
Oh no, I'm saying we lost the series 3-1.
Yeah, we lost the series 3-1. We lost to the World Series champs. I don't care what anyone who said, like, if you're a Major League Baseball player and you want a big contract, yeah, the Dodgers are good for baseball. They're not. Like, if this Dodgers go on a fucking tear for free agency again and start signing people to, like, oh, we're going to bring in Bellinger and Tucker, and they're going to just, like, fucking platoon the position, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind, because I'm getting tired of the fact, like, it's going to sound like excuses, but you had 7 starters, none of which pitched the full season, and you come into the postseason healthy.
All-Star break.
Yeah, like, it's bullshit to an extent, and you could say the same thing about us because we have a high payroll, but none of it's deferred. You know who's deferred on our contract? What we picked up from JT when he came from the Marlins, Didi Gregorius, and I forget who the third person was.
But not Gene Segura has deferred too.
Yeah, like, not impact, not Ohtani, who is deferring his entire active run to get the money on the back end. So it's frustrating, and you're mortgaging the team's future to the point where technically that's somebody else's problem 10 years down the line, but if they just keep mortgaging the future, you're the U.S. government that just keeps going into deficit. That's all you are.
Yeah, and like you said, they're already rumored to sign Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You already have, like, whatever. They are, from a they're fake fans. Like the fan base, yes, there are. I've met true Dodger fans because I've worked in California, and I like talking to them, because they also understand the concept of like, yeah, it's great that we're getting all these players, but you know, if you're an Angels fan, you get the raw deal in LA.
Yeah, like everyone hated it when the Yankees did it, but the Yankees basically they fucked themselves over for basically a decade too. Like they
Mhm.
couldn't get out of the contract. They still have Giancarlo Stanton on their team because they paid him $600 million and he can't run to first.
Mhm.
Like they're stuck with all these contracts. So at least they did it the right way though. They signed all the players, but they didn't defer anyone.
Yeah. Well, and you can make that argument about the Mets. Like the Mets have also, as much as I hate them, except for Bobby Bonilla, they sign everybody, and oh, it didn't work out. We're just gonna cut you. Like it's the way they burn through money is kind of annoying, but in its own like, you keep shit in the bed somehow, even though you throw
Yeah.
money at the problem.
Yep.
Whereas the Dodgers, like it's fair, like it's annoying that they've cornered the Japanese market. Like I get why they cornered the Asian market. If I'm from Asia and I don't want to play on the halfway around the world, I get it. Like East Coast teams are not going to be attractive solely on the fact of like location. So a West Coast team's more attractive. But at the same time, there's like 5 other West Coast teams. Doesn't all have to be the Dodgers. There's the
Yeah.
Mariners. There's the the Angels, but they have Trout. That's the crazy thing. Like I just don't like Ohtani. I think that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. I
You
don't
have the
like him.
great you have the great Padres. You have the amazing Athletics.
Yeah, you've got those teams out there that you could sign with, and you could even go into Texas. I think I don't think Texas would be terrible for travel, or I get
Well,
why you
you
wouldn't go
also
to
have the
Colorado.
you also have the D bags too.
Yeah, but like I get why what East Coast teams, unless you commit to like I'm going to live in New York or I'm going to live in Florida, like I get why I wouldn't want to play 7 months across the country and then go back for like 3 months and then have to come back type thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it sucks. I hope they don't make a run on free agency, but free agency is the topic of conversation right now, considering the Phillies have lost a third of their team. Like a third of the team hit free agent markets. Big ones being Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, Ranger Suarez, technically Harrison Bader. Uh, it's interesting. So I want to kind of go position by position. We'll start with catcher. Obviously, we have made it very clear throughout this entire season that the JT should have been re-signed before the season ended. He is the best catcher on the market. He's one of the older catchers on the market. Actually, you know what? He's actually one of the younger ones. Looking at this list I'm looking at, but some names out there that are available for catchers. JT is currently ranked the top available free agent. You've got Christian Vasquez, James McCann. I keep making the joke to Erik in private chats about Jacob Stallings is going to be a Philly, and we're going to
It's
call that an upgrade.
but like even your first four names that you listed,
Mm-hmm.
there's no comparison to what JT is, even on his worst year, which
Did
was technically I think either this year or last year, and he's still better than those.
did the Royals re-sign? Well, I can't think of his name right now. I'm blanking on it.
Perez,
Yeah, he's not on the
yes,
list.
yes,
So technically, Perez was the second best catcher. So now JT is the best, and you have a huge drop. Especially if you put a lot of stock into the WAR, he is 4.0. The second best is Victor Caratini at 2.7. We're fucked.
wow, yeah,
We're either going to overpay JT to get him to stay, which if you're going to go all out on a player in the free agency, I've made this clear. He is the glue to our pitching staff that we have signed for the next 3 to 5 years.
yeah. I think there's no question about him being the highest priority for the Phillies is bringing back JT Realmuto. Even if you can go out and trade for Adley or one of those players, that would be fantastic. But the likelihood of not having to give up like an Aiden Miller or a Painter,
Crawford, like somebody ready to come up.
Yeah, somebody that is really right there and ready to go in order to get Adley just for maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years max. I think with all the options and stuff like that, it just doesn't seem worth it. And
JT for a 3-year gap and kick the problem down the road would be nice.
Just it's I say it's not my money, so I couldn't care less. Like you bring everyone back, like you're making the money back with what players you have on the team. And if you're gonna come out here with Stubbs and Marchand as your starting catchers, like who the hell wants to see Garrett Stubbs or Marchand ninth batter every single day? Like no one.
No, I agree. Well, right now, technically, Marchand is the only signed catcher because Garrett only had a 1-year deal.
But yeah, I think we had a discussion before that I thought Garrett had a 2-year deal, but you looked it up and it was one. But yeah,
so obviously JT is the priority for us at catcher. Then you go into like the first baseman free agencies, which isn't a priority. Obviously, because Bryce currently has that and is currently like the only first baseman not a free agent. I will go on a hill of he needs to fucking get back in the outfield. Like we'll get to the outfield free agents and the outfield problem shortly, but you're pissing and moaning that your outfield's been terrible for the last 3 years, and you signed an all-star right fielder who has not played fucking right field for you for half of his contract. Anyway, a lot of former Phillies in that first baseman mix. You got Carlos Santana there, Big Reese Hoskins, also as a left fielder, if you think about it. Pete Alonso's the top free agent. You got Josh Naylor, Luis Arraez, Justin Turner, Josh Bell, Rowdy Tellez. God, damn near everybody in first base is up. Paul Goldschmidt.
So I know you said you're going to talk about it later, but I'd get rid of Casty, unfortunately.
We're going to have a conversation about that when we get there.
Yep. And
Pisses
then
me off.
I'd move Harper out, and I'd bring in Naylor, and I'd bring in Alonso. So you'd have Naylor as your first baseman, and you'd have Alonso as your DH because you're not bringing back Schwarber. Schwarber is basically he's going to command at least 170 million, and he'll probably want like 5 years. And like I'll give you the money, but I'm not paying you for 5 years. Like that's just too long to potentially go back into our shit streak of a decade too. Like I can't do that again. I absolutely cannot.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Naylor showed that he was phenomenal, especially in the postseason. Like he was great. So he can handle it, I think.
I don't think we make a play for a first baseman. I do think if we make a play, it'll be at the DH level, which would give Pete and Bryce a platoon to do DH in first. But I don't want to spend however many years Pete is commanding looking at Pete's face in Philadelphia. Second basemans, we have Bryson. I feel like there's an argument to be made there that we can upgrade that since he did not have a good year at all. He started showing some life towards the end, but then fell off in the postseason with the rest of them. The top free agent would be Gleyber Torres. He's available. You got
no, Bichette is.
He's I guess so. He's technically a shortstop.
But I'm changing up this whole entire lineup. I'm getting rid of Stott as well, and I'm bringing in Bichette, or
Do you move Trey to second? Who's the better defensive shortstop, Bo or Trey?
Well, it was if I'm moving Trey to second, I'm bringing up Aiden Miller for my shortstop.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not signing Bell. If Trey says yes, I'll go to second. Aiden's coming up, and he's going to be my everyday shortstop. And then I'm getting rid of Bohm, and I'm bringing in Bregman.
See, I
And
don't.
that
Yeah, I get that
you.
you why you would do that for your third baseman. I'm not sold on Bregman being an answer just because of his age. I know 32. Yeah, it's tough to say that's old. Bohm was one of the best hitters on our team. Outside, well, no, he's the most consistent and best hitter on our team last year, next to Trey. Trey just seemed like every time I watched him, he just sucked, but his numbers were good.
But my issue with Bohm is that you're not getting the production out of him. Like being a third baseman, you have to have home run power, and he doesn't have that consistently.
Yeah, well,
Like
neither does Bryce.
well, first base, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would move him out to the right field.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd put him back in where the shitty kids are in Little League. Like that's
where are we gonna hide him?
Yeah, like you can't throw a ball anymore. It's perfectly fine. Just go hang out in right field, or maybe he miraculously turns it around and he becomes your DH, and then you have Pete Alonso as your first baseman. Like,
I'm
but
not
either way,
completely on the ditch Bohm train. I don't like his antics that he would normally throw, but he didn't really do that much this year. Like he didn't cry. Like 2024, he was a huge fucking crybaby.
no,
I
but
guess he got a therapist.
there was plenty of games this year, not massively like that what they were like 2 years ago, where he's like, I fucking hate this place and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. Like not anywhere close to that, but there's been plenty of times where you could see that he's in a bit of a slump and he's slamming his helmet after like swinging at a ball that hit the dirt 5 feet in front of the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's still plenty of times that things happen, but not to the extent of what happened before. But the only reason why I would get rid of him is just for change, because I'm so sick of running everything back. And Bregman could have had one of the best years ever in his career up in Boston, just because it was a contract year.
Mm-hmm.
He could have had that year, and he could come here and he could suck just like the rest of the players do in their first year.
That's my like. I don't think he's the answer. We didn't get it done last year. Why would he change his mind and come here this year?
Because Bryce Harper is going to let him name his fifth kid.
Okay. Left field, like, okay, now let's talk about the outfield, because that's going to be the big topic of conversation. Right now, our outfield is Castellanos, Marsh, and Rojas, considering Bader, Kepler, both hit free agency. The big conversation is that Nick won't be here next year. I think that's bullshit. And I know people, it's because you're a big Casty fan. No. I think Casty is probably the only one on this team that's fucking right about this team. He spoke his mind about this team, and he's being punished for speaking his mind about this team. The management of this team's awful. Everybody has said it every time they've been on here. Like, you don't understand what Topper's doing. He probably called Topper out on it, and now it's like, well, we're going to part ways with you. Yeah, that's just bullshit. He's the only one who hasn't spent time on the IL since signing a contract. He's been consistent. He is the only one who showed up the last 2 years in the playoffs. And we're going to just everybody points to his numbers not being great. Why would you play great when the city just constantly shits on him every fucking opportunity they get?
I think it has more to do with the fact that he's not living up to what we thought he was going to be, because he was over a 300 hitter in Cincy.
1 year. He did it
So
1
we,
year.
but he also did it previously as well. Like he's always been a
Bryce isn't
more,
living up to what he's supposed to be.
but
Why are we
it's
calling for
taken
his head?
Bryce 6 years here to be on the downward trend.
He's been on the downward trend since 2022. He hasn't played a full season. He hasn't played his position he was signed for since 2020.
But he's always come up during that time. Bryce has come up in the big spots when he needed him most.
Bedlam at the bank, that's it. He hasn't done shit since.
There
So again,
really hasn't been much
3
movement
years.
since.
Yeah, 3 years. He's been everybody's been the 3 out of the 4 years Nick's been here. He has not stepped up, and nobody shits on him as much as they ship on Castellanos, who's doing arguably the same production.
I think this year changed on that.
Well, that's why would you play the back half when your coach just decides to fuck you over? You've been an everyday player for the last 3.5 years, and all of a sudden you speak your mind because you're being pulled defensively, even though I know he's not great defensively stat-wise, but he also ran, 164 games without an error?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Trey is just booting the fucking ball into left field. And we're not playing a Mundo who had a better batting average at the time?
Just nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
So I get why everybody is mad at Castellanos because he hasn't lived up to the hype, but also you didn't give him a chance to. Whereas, like, you did a standing O for Trey, even though he costs you so much with his fucking errors still. Schwarber can bat 130, but he hits dingers. Fantastic. You were hitting them at leadoff. No, what did you fucking do? Score yourself? Thank you. Like, it's frustrating the hate that went to Nick, mainly because Nick just has that face. That's all it is. People look at Nick and go, he's a dickhead. Yeah, just because he's blunt? That's Philly.
Yeah, well, we don't like it when people give it back to us.
Yeah, you don't like that's yeah, it's just annoying that, like, we're just gonna cut loose to him. Meanwhile, Taijuan Walker has somehow been drug out of the goddamn dugouts every fucking year. Like, the audacity that beat reporters are like, well, then just release him. Why didn't you just release Taijuan Walker? It's okay to keep eating that fucking dragging that man legitimately gave you losses. Like, he went out there and lost the fucking game for you in the first inning. Multiple
there's
times.
A guy that should be underneath the microscope for betting.
Who's gonna be on the team next year? Like, you're talking about, like, just cut a guy that is productive. Maybe not as productive as you want him to be, but let's cut the fucking guy. Eat his $20 million. Motherfucker, you drug Taijuan Walker out there for 8 consecutive losses and went, no, we think he's going to turn the corner. That's why Topper's a bad fucking manager, and why Nick probably told him, go fuck yourself, because you keep dragging Taijuan out there. You'd have better. Nick would pitch a better fucking game. It's just frustrating that, like, it's easy to jump on they need a villain on the team, and because Nick looks like a typical mob villain, they just chose to get this drug cartel looking motherfucker and said, all right, we're going to hate him, get rid of him. Meanwhile, you have Orion Kerkering just yeeting the ball off to the other dugout or whatever the fuck he was doing. Or, the good guys, you got to be nice to him. You know, it's really high pressure. The only fucking guy that walked over to him afterward was Nick. But no, cut him. Cut him. But go on, all outfielders. I knew the Nick Castellanos thing's been boiling for 3 weeks, and it irritates me how quick this city has turned on him. And it's like he's the only one who's not hit the IL out of all of them. You sent Schwarber out to left field for one fucking day, and he had to go on the 10-day IL because he hurt his fucking groin. Yeah, he asked you to play left field one game.
One game, yep.
One game. and you were on the IL for 10 days.
I just think I just think everyone cares, like you said before, like everyone cared about the long ball and the production.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one cares about the batting average anymore. They don't care that it was 130. They cared that he had 130 RBIs, and Casty wasn't anywhere near that. That's what most people.
Neither was
care.
Harper.
Well,
That's the
this year, yeah.
irritating thing. Like, all right, if you're gonna call for heads, fucking burn it to the ground. The only two players that would be standing would be Schwarber and Trey, because Trey had 309 and Schwarber hit all the home runs and the RBIs. Harper is good. He'll have another IL stint probably around the All-Star break, which would be lovely having that in Philadelphia, and then him not available for All-Star services. Like, oh, he's the face of the franchise. Who's not here?
It's going to be insane that we're not going to have anyone actually at the All-Star game.
Yeah, they'll be in Vegas. It's so in this world of your outfield, I'm not giving up on Casty. I'd like to see the goddamn outfield we were promised in 2022, where Nick was in left and Bryce was in right, but that never fucking happened.
Well, I don't see my dream outfield. It would either be Bryce or Casty in right field. Either one of those two. Mm-hmm. I don't think Bryce moves to right field. So I think the smart play.
They need to tell him to shut the fuck up. Sorry.
Is to bring Casty back, no matter how much Thompson hates him. Like, first of all, he shouldn't be the manager anyway. Like, he should be gone. Like, whatever. He should be done. But I did see a great article that basically said no matter who they brought in, it could be me, it could be you, it doesn't matter. It's going off of analytics. Mm-hmm. So any manager that is brought in, they're basically doing the same exact play that Dombrowski and also all the nerds in the building are telling them to do. So it doesn't matter who the manager is. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I think Casty coming back for that final year, I think is the smart play. Your center fielder should be Justin Crawford. And your left field, you have to, I'm not who's a free agent for left field?
Well, that's the weird thing with like outfielders and shit. Like they sit there and they list them as like, oh, your left field. The top one is Rob Refnsnyder. I don't know what the fuck that is. Austin Hayes is in the top 3. That worked out well last time he was here. Yeah. The guy I keep joking about, Tommy Pham's up there. Mark Kahana, Michael Conforto. You're telling me all these people are fucking better than Nick Castellanos?
That's right field or left field?
Left field. Oh. Move Nick to left.
Yeah. Yeah, you can move Nick to left.
Put him where he was supposed to be when we signed him.
Have Harper in right field if he's willing to actually go out there.
Your right fielders are Kyle Tucker.
That's a no. We're not going to sign him. So.
Then your next option is it literally third on the list is Max Kepler in WAR.
What's Bellinger? Isn't he left field?
He's center. They have him listed as center. It goes him and then Bader. So like you're looking at these lists, we already had these guys.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the goddamn manager. Like these guys are now valuable now. Why were they not valuable when they were here? And that's what's going to happen with Nick. We're going to send him to some team, and he's going to fucking light up on that team. And everybody's like, why'd you get rid of him? And I will find them and beat them with a bat.
I don't want to say everyone, because not everyone. But
yeah, they'll be the diehards. Like in our debate between Schwarber and Casty, Tyler will die on the hill that Casty's good being gone.
I want to say the majority of people understand that Thompson should not be here, and they're just not willing to accept it because of what he did in the past, but they're not seeing the full picture, and that's of him falling on his face every single year, and it's just getting worse and worse. And like you said, like you could even go back to just the regular season games of just trying to run out there with Taijuan Walker. Like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
send them down to the minors or just stick them in the bullpen or have a phantom IL injury, whatever it is, figure it out.
Hit
Like
him with your car. Do the city a favor. Like, I didn't see him. He was walking down the ramp, and I just accidentally I mistaken the gas pedal for the brake pedal, and I'm old. It happens. I'm Canadian. I'm sorry about that.
like he gave up like 5 runs in the first inning, and you're like, oh, there's zero shot that he's coming out for the second inning. In the second inning, he came back out, and he gave up 4 runs. And you're like, oh, there's definitely no shot that he's coming out for the third. And
Yeah,
he came out for the third inning.
and not to harp on like the what ifs of the postseason, but had he played the regular season better without putting fucking Taiwan in there at the start, maybe we had the number 1 seed. Maybe we played the Cubs. We got some repetition down against the Cubs. Then we roll into a Dodgers series where we're warmed up, and maybe we move on. Again, that's all hypotheticals, but at the same time,
Yeah, for
like, you
sure.
didn't play hard enough. Like, I finally have jumped on your topper. Get the hell out of here! But that's because they're trying to take my mans from me. Like, in the battle of the dads, I'm picking Casty on this one.
See, but this is why I say every year, like everyone always says to me, why do you care so much about the early season games? They mean nothing. No, they
Oh,
mean stuff. Every game matters, especially towards the end. Like you said, the 8 losses, the 8 scheduled losses in a row of Taiwan Walker playing, those 8 games would have pushed us further
mm-hmm.
ahead of the Brewers. Like
Yep.
we would have been the 1 seed if, like, even what was the final record? Let me see if I can pull it up real fast.
I think we were a game behind them. I think we had 96. I think they had 97 wins. But they
Yeah,
also had the tiebreaker, so we were technically 2 games behind them.
yeah. So even if we won 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 8, like
And we
you
lost
have,
series to them when they weren't hot, which is
yeah,
annoying.
you have the number 1 seed. Like it just,
It's frustrating. Like, I don't want to be like a Nick Castellanos stan, but like, he is taking a lot of the heat for other like, all right, he's gone next year. When we fall on our faces again, who's to blame now?
did you see Bader's Instagram?
Yeah, where he basically said 2 months wasn't long enough, but it's God's plan that that's the way it worked out or whatever. It confused the hell out of me.
Yeah, he said Philly baby! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! 2.5 months was not early enough, but that's all the gods had in store for us this year. To the ones who made it happen, thank you. To every screaming fan, I love you and thank you. To a clubhouse I'm humbled to have been a part of, especially thank you. This game is a gift, but you Philly are a fucking gift. Like
So like
one,
the this year qualifier throws me off. Like, I don't know if that's a jab that, hey, why did you sign Max Kepler over me at the beginning of the season? Or if it's we had a good 2 months, I'm done.
or it's I'm coming back, and this is just me saying we had a hell of a first year together. Wait to see what we
Mhm.
have in store for more. Like
Do,
there's so many directions on this status that
well,
everyone is going.
do you think him not accepting the offer is him thinking he's worth more than 10 million a year, or is it because he wants more years?
I think he wants more years. I think he understands that he's in that ballpark. 10, 12 million, I think, is where
Yeah.
it's
So
reasonable. But he's
well,
he's what, 28? He's not old, I don't
he
think.
no, but I think he's injury prone, isn't he? He's
I don't know.
32.
He's
He is
30.
old.
Yeah, he's yeah.
But hey, I could see. Now here's the problem. Like, if you can offer a 3-year deal to a center fielder, or who do you think? How many years do you think he wants?
I'd say 3 years.
He's the oldest in the top 5, and one of the top 5 actually signed with Baltimore on a 1-year deal. But like, you have Cedric Mullins, who's 31. Trent Grisham, that's 29, and then obviously the unicorn out there, Cody Bellinger, that's 30. 3 years, Bader's going to be 35, which isn't terrible. Like, there's a couple 35-year-old center fielders, but you're already as a collective unit, we're already bitching that the outfield has been a problem for the last 2 years, 3 years. Do you want
Listen,
another 3 years?
I need to stop you for this rumor right here.
What's that? Reese is coming back? Called it.
Philly, 8 hours ago.
Yeah.
Phillies predicted to make blockbuster trade for $340 million, 3-time All-Star. Can you take a guess as to who that is? And it is not Soto, because he makes a lot more money. Just a heads up. I'll just give you one shot because it's a
Talking about Nolan Arenado?
No.
No, what did you say?
It's a $340 million blockbuster trade, but an outfielder.
Okay.
So who would that be? I'll give you one more shot as an outfielder.
And it's not Juan Soto?
It is not Juan Soto because he makes a lot more than that.
Are they trying to get Aaron Judge?
No, he makes a lot more than that too.
I don't know what the prices are. Who's an outfielder that makes that much?
I will give you another quick hint, and it's a West Coast player. National League, West Coast. This will sound outrageous as a rumor.
Is it Tatis?
Yep.
How?
It's that's apparently he is on the trade block. So I don't know who fan side it is, but Christopher Klein believes the Phillies are the top trade candidate for San Diego Padres All-Star Fernando Tatis.
I don't.
This past season, Tatis slashed 268, 368, 446, 814 with 27 doubles, 25 home runs, 71 RBIs, 32 stolen bases, and 155 games. He's a 2-time Platinum Glove winner, so would anchor the outfield defensively.
Did you say he was a right-handed hitter?
That I can't remember.
I don't know what you would give up to the Padres for him. That wouldn't hurt. Because it's not like, I know the people you want gone, they have decent people in those positions.
This also works as killing 2 birds with 1 stone, since the Phillies seem all but destined to trade Castellanos this offseason. Making a package around him would give them a stud outfielder while getting rid of one they don't want.
He does bat right-handed.
Hopefully the Phillies get on this soon. Many other teams will probably call about Tatis Jr. as well, so they need to be first in line to make the real shot.
Why would Padres be why are they blowing up their shit?
They are so far in debt, it's not even funny.
Yeah, they say that every year and then make some stupid-ass signing.
Yeah, and they basically are begging teams to take their signings by All-Star break. Like, Machado is probably going to be the only one left standing.
In that deal, you said that the centerpieces of the deal would be Tatis on their end and then Castellanos on our end. Are we eating Cassie's contract to send out there for Tatis? Because how much does Tatis make?
It said $340 million in the blockbuster trades. I don't know how much he has left. I don't know any of that. But
his annual salary is $24 million, so they'd be saving $4 million. That's it. If you just did a 1-for-1 swap,
and they wouldn't do 1-for-1.
No.
But,
so we're supposed to eat that 20. He signed a 14-year deal. Jesus Christ. No.
And
I think you said that, but no.
I think one of the years that I think it got pushed back because he had the steroids, so he was banned the whole entire year from playing.
That means
I think it just adds another year on
into the 2030s. We would have him, Trey, and Bryce, and like no wiggle room
coming out with walkers.
Yeah, that's going to be your first, second, and shortstop because Tatis can't run in the outfield anymore. Jesus Christ!
So that that article basically said that you're killing two birds with one stone, but that's not killing two birds with one stone because you're guaranteed out on JT, you're guaranteed out on
That's it.
Kyle Schwarber,
Yeah, that's your move.
You're guaranteed out on Bregman. You're guaranteed like everyone's done, and then potentially there's a lockout coming next year or the year after, whatever it is. I think it was either 2026 or 2027. I think 2027 because the All-Star game and everything. So everything's looking good for that. But the CBA, I believe, ends after next year.
Yeah.
So basically, what all teams are going to do is they're going to have an extremely low payroll or as low as they can get it for next year because they don't want to pay the players in 2027 when there's a lockout.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that we're going to trade for Tatis, who's making $340 million. You have Harper, you have Trey Turner, you have all these players that are guaranteed on 2027 at least, and then you have Wheeler, who
could be dead.
I was gonna say that, but
I know they're touting that his surgery was successful, but like,
boy, are they ever touting that?
Yeah,
it's like you don't hear anything throughout the whole year about when these players get surgeries and how everything's going.
Mm-hmm.
But man, like I feel like it's every other week that I'm hearing an update about him.
Zach woke up today, guys. Clap, 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 clap.
Right?
42 million well spent.
Like, fuck, dude. Like, is he really doing that bad?
It's terrifying. Because how many players, like you said, how many players had they hid the injury the entire year and they went, they're getting surgery in the offseason. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
This guy's like, he's leaving now. He just boarded his plane. He had applesauce on his plane. He's fine.
He had a blueberry muffin.
Yeah, he landed. Very good bowel movements, so we've been told. Like they're bracing us for like, we don't know what happened. We gave you all these positive 100%. Updates.
Yeah. Yeah, every single week we get an update about how he's doing, and then February's gonna come, pitchers and catchers report, and it's like, where's Zach at? Oh,
we're gonna be walking Citizens Bank Park in March for like some event that's not related to the Phillies. I'm like, hey, why are they painting that 45 on the wall up there? That makes no sense. It's an active number, isn't it? Right? It's an active number, right, guys? Jesus, like, this team. We're missing a third of our team.
Yeah, and it's like I said, but that CBA is coming fast.
Still, like, number 2 and 3 in betting odds for World Series champions next year. I don't know how the fuck you do that.
Yeah, like, who do you have on it? Like, you have all your pitchers coming back. That's it, except for David Robertson.
You don't have Joe Ross or Jordan Romano, that's for sure.
Yeah, you don't have Romano. He's gone, thank God. But watch, he's gonna go up to Toronto again and be like a relief pitcher for Hoffman, and they're gonna be a best 1-2 punch in the world.
Up until the final game of the World Series.
Oh.
I don't know how we could be so. All right, guarantees: Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Zach Wheeler's paycheck, and
somehow Johan Rojas guaranteed every year.
Yep, at least the start
on this team still.
That's another problem too. Look how many of these guys we have as our utility players. We have spent all their options. Weston Wilson, Marchand. I know Garrett Stubbs is on a 1-year deal, but he has no options unless he signs another hybrid contract like he did this year. Like Edmundo Sosa. I think the dark areas are here. We're just not. We're not accepting it.
To accept it.
Yeah. I don't. Okay, so let's go through our free agents. JT, we told it's number one priority. If they don't get that done, this team's in the shitter. Do you think Kyle's back or no?
No.
Good. I don't think he is either. I think his price will be astronomically high.
But the 5 years for 150 is just outrageous. Like, if you want to do 150, I'll give you 150, but we're not doing it for 5 years. Like, I'll give you $50 million a year for 3 years. Like,
so, I know I said we're going to go player by player. There was a note. I forget what story where I saw the story, but like Dave Dombrowski proposed a plan to Middleton that was super aggressive and super, like, it was high end money wise. What do you think that entails? Like,
well, let me just say this. Dave Dombrowski should never get in front of a mic again. This dude has to be the worst press conference preparer, whatever you want to say. Like, he is. If you are burning in a fire, he's somehow bringing more fire, and like to set you on fire even more. Like, I don't know how it's possible, but he will make you so much more angry the more he talks and the more he does. So he needs
even
to
his own
stay
players. Even his own players. Because apparently, right now, the hottest story out of the GM meetings that are happening this week is that he had to reconcile with Bryce. And they had like a good conversation. Here's the quote. If you're wondering, Bryce Harper and Dave Dombrowski have talked, and according to Dave, quote, we had a nice conversation, quote, everything went well.
So that's 100% a lie. And Harper probably told him to fuck off and let's.
I don't want to harp on the Casty thing. How the fuck does that happen? And like neither one of those two are moving on. Your GM.
They can't move on from Harper.
I know. Why aren't you moving on from your GM who just shit talked your franchise player? I'm using air quotes for those listening to the audio version.
Well, that's another person that should have been moved on from. He's down in Tennessee. He's with me on vacation. He's down in Tennessee looking for a baseball stadium. Who, let me tell you, the people in Tennessee have no idea that a major league baseball team was even like.
What's this baseball awesome. You speak of, sir?
Yeah, like they don't even care. The guy, I talked to like 6 or 7 people about the stadium that was being built down the street that I could see from the rooftop bar, and they're like, "That's the new Titan Stadium," and he's like, "They're like, I don't even know why it's being built because nobody goes to the games, and it's 3/4 of the way empty every single Sunday. So I don't know why it's being built." And I was like, "Oh, well, what about baseball? You're getting a new baseball team potentially. You're going to be a new expansion." And he's like, "We don't like baseball down here.
We don't like y'all folk."
Yeah. So, like, they're trying. Dombrowski is desperate on bringing a team down there. Just go down there and fail there. Like, you'll get them to the World Series like you did us, and thank you for pulling us out of misery. I appreciate it. But you haven't done what you've done to every other team. And maybe I'm thankful for that because you've ruined their franchises for a while. So maybe I'm more thankful than what I'm letting on. But like, you were expected to come in here and make some big ass trades and big ass moves. But your big ass trades and big ass moves were Austin Hayes, Max Kepler, Harrison Bader,
Johan Duran.
Yeah, like it's you mixed in some good players, but not great.
I do think it's interesting. So like he's obviously getting questioned because they're out there for the GM meetings. He did make a quote about like what were the focuses, and he said it's a very quote. It's a very hard question for me to answer at this point because of our free agency situation.
So he has no idea that free agency even started.
Yeah, right. So until I know where we stand right now, we don't have an everyday catcher. We don't have an everyday DH, and this is the key one that I'm interested in. We're short an outfielder, singular. So is that the reference that Bader and Kepler left, and we're just trying to fill that hole? Because he didn't specify like our outfield needs help. He specifically said we're short an outfielder.
Yeah, which is like I said, Casty, Crawford. He basically loves Crawford. He's been on that dude's dick since the end of the season. So it basically seems like he's all but guaranteed to come up here and be an everyday player. It's basically Crawford's time to shine or time to fail, one or the two. So he's going to be up here to start the season, and it's that left because technically that's what he's doing. He's speaking in facts. That's what I figured out about this fucker. That's all he does is speak in technicalities. Technically, we have two starting outfielders. We don't have a third. Technically, we have a first baseman and a shortstop. Like that's what he's doing. Like we don't have an everyday.
He went on to say we lost a starting pitcher. We do have some starting pitching depth. And he also wanted to say, so I don't know that our bullpen is quite as strong. We do have a closer. We like Kerkering. We got Alvarado back now with left-handers Banks and Strom, but you can always get better out there. But I wouldn't say it's driving a need because Duran changes that situation for us, which we haven't had. So it doesn't sound like there's a focus on bullpen, which I'm kind of okay with because their bullpen acquisitions in the past have not been phenomenal until Duran. So don't go trying to fix people, okay? I don't want no more Romanos. I don't want no more Kimbrels. I don't want you keep that bullshit veteran out of here. And just like, I don't know, see what you can pick up out of the minors. I think it was interesting that he noted that they have pitching depth, which makes me feel like they're not going to chase the starter. If they could get Ranger back in a deal, I'm sure they would. But if not, I think they're totally comfortable with Painter and making us.
I think no matter what, Ranger's gone.
Yeah.
No matter what.
But the important part is I think he's comfortable with Painter being that fifth or putting us through another year of hell with Taijuan Walker. I think he's totally cool with that. So the priority is clearly catcher and DH and an outfielder. Now, what magic he does in the outfield should be interesting. He didn't mention anything about the infield.
The outfielder has been a priority for 4 years, and he's failed.
As you signed two fucking outfielders in 2022 and moved your right fielder to fucking first base.
Like it's failed every single year.
Yeah. We have never gotten the promised outfield that he put together on paper, and it bugs the fuck out of me.
And it's because of Harper getting injured and basically blowing that up to smithereens, but they haven't been able to come back from that injury. Like it's just done.
To me, outfield, Nick goes to left field. You play out his last contract. I don't want to eat his money, and I don't think you're going to do better than him for the value.
Especially with the outfielders that you said. I completely agree.
Unless you score a Bellinger. If you score Bellinger, maybe we can talk, but I don't think you're scoring Bellinger.
No, there's zero shot.
The best outfield to me is you move fucking Casty to left, put Bader in center, who can cover Nick better that way than he does the other way, and put Marsh in right.
Crawford.
Put Crawford in right. I think Crawford's going to flop. That's just me. And I know Philly doesn't want to hear that, but I think he's going to flop hard. And then we're going to have this conversation that first week of what the fuck are we going to do because we got rid of Casty, we re-signed Bader, and the Bader Marsh Crawford isn't working.
Crawford's going to be great.
All right. That's a lot of pressure to put on this kid that chipped a tooth and was out for the rest of the season.
Put it on 11-11. Erik said Crawford is going to be a hell of an everyday outfielder. Great.
I don't have. I'm not ready to put my eggs in the basket of a minor league guy.
I'm basket full.
That's fair. I get it.
That's
There's
cool.
two different strategies here. I don't want to run it back, but I don't.
Please don't fucking run it back again, man. You can't do it. Can't.
Well, if JT and Kyle are your priorities, the way Philly writes about Castellanos, what fucking team would take him? Like, what wiggle room do you have? Like, if you listen to the way the beat reporters in Philadelphia write about Casty, and then MLB puts that stuff onto their site, oh, he's defensively the worst right fielder in the league. His WAR is like the lowest among outfielders. Who wants this for $20 million? Who wants it for $10 million?
Yeah.
When you
anybody is a great guy.
yeah, I think
Just
he's
don't
going to have a
write
good
them.
year. Like, I would take that gamble if Philly ate part of the contract and I got him at like 10 or 12 for a year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I just why, like, he's gonna have a great, because he's gonna want to keep playing. Like, maybe it's his contract year. JT had a great year this year, even though he had that weird slump for a bit. He had a great year this year. Kyle is snowballing this industry because there's no reason he's not worth that much. I don't care what they predict him at. He had one good year, and statistically, he's not going to be good for 5 more years. Like, it's a bad deal. Whoever signs him to whatever he's projected for is going to lose on that, because
I agree with that.
he's not going to perform to that. We're losing on Harper. Like, and that was the projected deal.
The only good thing is that Schwarber is he's never going to go into the field. He's strictly going to be a DH for the next team.
It to me is a problem, because like we've experienced it on our end, where what if on the off day JT could have batted, and then like it's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of scenarios that it kind of fucked everything over.
We fucked over our first base and our DH, because you could have wiggle room at first, because Bohm, JT, like, people can play first pretty well. Like, you could just kind of shift people in there, and then DH is like also like, oh, we could, all right, you can't run, let's put you in a hit, and like, I don't know. He's, to me, if your only thing is your bat, why are you getting multi-year deals?
Yeah.
1 to 2. Kutch is doing it right. Kutch is out there. Bring Kutch back.
So the GM meetings are happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything about what's going on. So you breaking that news was just breaking it for me too.
Yeah, I think that's more he got off the plane and then somebody bamboozled him.
Yeah.
They are in Vegas, so it makes sense that he would talk to one of the Vegas boys. I assume Bryce would be out there.
Bryce and Bryson Stott are both from Vegas, so but I'm sure they're out there. Yeah.
I don't understand how they do. I get that Casty goes to Florida like the moment the season's over, but I don't know if the other guys do, because people always say stories of how they see him bopping around town around this time of year.
Chris Sanchez lives right on Egg Harbor Road.
Yeah, so it's like
he built a massive house that has like a 20-foot fence.
So like I don't know. I don't know. We're back though. We're talking Phillies. We'll be on a consistent basis. The free agency should keep us talking almost every week, because of we're missing a third of our fucking team. Like, there should be action every day because we're missing a third of our team.
It should be, yep.
If not, we'll do some Philly Fanatic focuses that we used to do. I know we did one on Jimmy. We did one on Chase. I know you've been begging to do one on Andrew Knapp, so I'm sure we'll get there at some point.
That's going to be our next hitting coach.
Yeah. Pitching coach. It's what, like, just really spice it up. Get out of here, Caleb. We got Knapp. He got hit in the face with a pitch once. But that's going to do it for us this week on the Fanatics. Jersey Phanatics. Eric, what you got going on?
Nothing.
Okay. BPP does have a lot going on. We're now on TikTok, where we're putting highlights from all of our product on there from the weekly protocol, which airs on Thursdays. This will start dropping on TikTok, like little highlights that where we laughed a little hard, so we'll put it in there. I'm sure my Casty rant will make it. Might be too long. We'll see what happens. So this drops every Wednesday. Every other Friday is Four Real Convos, hosted by Trish Bell. I stream Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, as of right now. Monday and Friday are supposed to be multiplayer games, if the people show the fuck up. So far, it's just been me and Frank. Sunday and Thursday, I play Pokemon right now, and Hyrule Warriors. So I might play a little bit more Hyrule Warriors. We'll see. But yeah, we're doing some streams. Stay Tactical Game for a Cause 12 coming to you April 10th to the 12th. On the 11th, which is day 2, we'll be at Ventureland Store at the Gloucester County Outlets. Come see us. Hang out with us. Get some comics. You know, get a new partnership growing there, which we'll have more information on that partnership too. But that's all live on basementprotocolproductions.com. So that's going to do it for us this week on the Jersey Phanatics. I've been Chris the Dace Man Dace. He's been Eric Barezzo.
Bye. Fuck the Dodgers.
Remember, basement dwellers, stick to the protocol. We'll see you next time. Eric, ring that bell.
Ring a ding ding, Dombrowski, do something.
See you next time, guys.